what Ibrahim Traore is doing. He has got agricultural projects. Burkina Faso is having a farming boom right now because of this great African leader. He has just made a law that any woman who has a child, her medical bills are completely eliminated. It's free to go to the doctor and have a child in Burkina Faso, in this African country, because mothers and maternal care is so important.
Donald Trump, look at this man. Try to be like him. Don't be like Zelensky. Don't be a worm. Be a president like Ibrahim Traore.
The forces that are trying to overthrow Ibrahim Traore are the same forces that keep Americans poor. We want a prosperous America, not one that is so focused on maintaining
by one of the most blatant cases of market manipulation in history, which he then bragged about on camera.
He made $2.5 billion today, and he made $900 million.
Now they're talking about Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, and well, this is what the accusations are.
Receiving gratuities on the side to the benefit of the ruling elite and not to the populace.
So they're saying he's a corrupt strongman leader who's running the country in a way that benefit the financial elite and not the general populace. Oh, hang on a second. So they're saying he's a corrupt strongman leader who's running the country in a way that benefit the financial elite and not the general population. Is there any good evidence of this? Honestly, not much I could find, although there does seem to be quite a lot of evidence to the contrary, in that he's refused his presidential salary and still gets paid the same that he did when he was a soldier, and also has disclosed his net worth, which reportedly comes in at a whopping $128,000. Now, could these numbers be a doctored facade? I guess. I don't know. I don't have an intelligence agency at my disposal, but even if they were, why is it the business of the American government? Where did you get your high horse from? Now, could there be some other reasons why powerful Western interests might want to get rid of Ibrahim Traore? I don't know. It might have something to do with the fact that he's calling for a united African economy with an African currency that could severely weaken the dollar that gains a lot of its value from other countries using it for trade. It might have something to do with the fact that he's rather aggressively expelling the influence of Western economies that have had a colonial stranglehold on Africa for centuries now, and well, we all know how well that's been working for them. Even calling out the French president for France's rather impressively large gold reserves, which are the fourth largest in the world, and quite a lot of which came from Burkina Faso. So if we're going to talk about African wealth being exploited on behalf of financial elites and not the general population of the African countries, maybe you should have a look in some French vaults. Maybe just look around you, because frankly, if you're in the Western world, African wealth is just about everywhere you look.
I love Africa. It's so difficult to watch Ibrahim, I can't even say his name, Traore, in his speeches and not be absolutely like shaken to the core at the absolute dedication he has to his people. And of course, that's a threat. That's a threat to colonialists. That's a threat to the West. Having anyone who is able to gather people that were ultimately very divided in a very large continent is a threat. If you don't know, Ibrahim has already survived over a dozen assassination attempts. I think it was like 18 or something. And of course, France is threatening him. He has taken upon himself in Burkina Faso to build roads. He is putting in the infrastructure. He's taken it away from private companies to ensure there's no corruption through there. And they are on the ground building roads right now, building the infrastructure that Africa deserves. He has taken control over their own resources. And of course, this is a huge threat because these colonial nations like France, they profit off of exploiting Africa, and they always have. A continent as rich in resources and culture like Africa, being independent and being free and being able to profit for its people, oh my God, now that's a whole new world.
Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, has been waging a war for sovereignty in Burkina Faso. He has demanded that foreign transnational corporations stop stealing the gold from Burkina Faso. He has demanded that foreign militaries exit the country like the United States and France. And now he is waging a war on corruption in his own government. Earlier this week, Africa's youngest leader, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, announced that despite the fact that he is president, he is still making the same exact salary he made when he was but a soldier. In addition to that, he announced that his total assets, his total worth, is $128,000. Now he's declaring that all other government officials declare their assets and entire net worth, or else they will face a speedy prosecution. Traore has also barred any state officials from doing business with the government. And lastly, he has confirmed that any corruption that is uncovered in the government of Burkina Faso will be met with very quick punishment. Capt.Ibrahim Traore understands that you cannot have a sovereign government in a sovereign country if your own government officials are off on the take to either private corporations or foreign governments. This is a major step towards independence and freedom for Africa. Burkina Faso's revolutionary government in Africa has officially said no more to the foreign imperialists who are stealing our gold. Capt.Ibrahim Traore, the youngest leader in Africa, has officially withdrawn the mining permits for all foreign companies that were stealing the gold of Burkina Faso. And he put out a statement. He said, "We know how to mine our gold in Burkina Faso, and I don't understand why we are going to let multinationals come in and mine it." Maybe that's why they've tried to unalive him 16 times. In addition to this great news, Capt.Ibrahim Traore placed those mines, 2 of them, under full state control, which means that the people of Burkina Faso will be benefiting from all the revenue generated by those gold mines, not some wealthy investors living in France or the United States. This is the path to true liberation for Africa, and this is definitely what the imperialists in the West fear the most.
All right. Welcome back to the African Streamline. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for always being here. Thank you for choosing this channel. Thank you for making it your stop over today. I love you so much, my fans. The people who are coming here all the time and watching me, I really salute you. Those who are supporting Capt.Ibrahim Traore every time and every moment. You are his people. You love him. You're protecting him. Whether if it's through social media, whether it's through like physically, whether it's through like every other way you're using to protect him. God bless you, because he is the revolutionary that we have right now, who's going to save Africa, who's going to change everything. For those who are sending me super thanks, God bless you. I need it. I really, really, really need it. Yeah, for those subscribing to my channel, I also appreciate. God bless you so much in everything that you are doing. I love you so much. Now, if an outsider or if a visitor comes to your home and then your parents begin praising him, or if someone comes from a far village to your village and then people begin praising him more than how you personally you are being praised in your own village, as a person from that village, you need to begin getting worried. If a neighbor, a child from a neighboring home comes to your home, and then your parents begin using that child as an example of good things, and you are there, your parents begin saying, you need to be like this child, you need to be like this one, you need to be like this one, and you are from that home, but your parents are using another child from a neighboring home as a good example to you who lives in that home. You need to know that there is something that is not good, and there is something that you need to change. There is habits and behaviors. You need to turn them around. You need to begin changing and begin doing things in a different way. You need to begin working things out in a different way. And that is what is happening right now in the United States of America. Capt.Ibrahim Traore goes viral. White people begin talking about him and saying, Donald Trump, you need to work things out. You need to begin leading us and governing this country like the way Capt.Ibrahim Traore is governing Burkina Faso. He is the youngest president, 37 years old, who took power through coup. And many people really condemned it, said, this man is doing what is wrong. This man wouldn't have taken power by force, because people believe that many coups that normally happen in countries in Africa, the countries normally end up in wars and destructions and all that. But in Burkina Faso, it's different. A man comes to power, takes power through coup, and the country ends up becoming the best country in Africa out of 54 countries. It was some time back ranked amongst the last countries in Africa. But right now, as we're talking, it is amongst the first countries in Africa in terms of infrastructure, in terms of development, in terms of good education, in terms of agricultural sector, in terms of health system, in terms of everything. The country is being ranked right now amongst the first countries. They said, you know what? This man did not follow the way of democracy. This man, did not actually, he didn't allow people to go and vote. This man is governing and ruling people by force. He does not allow people to express their feelings and all that. That is what the mainstream media says. But have you gone to Burkina Faso and listened from the people of Burkina Faso? Have you paid a visit in Burkina Faso? Have you interacted? Have you come across the people of Burkina Faso and have a conversation with them and listen from them? Listen from what they have to say about it. Have you actually mingled with them, asked them questions? Have you asked them about how they feel about Capt.Ibrahim Traore? Have you? Before you say, the people of Burkina Faso do not love this man. They don't want him to rule them. They want him out of government. The people of Burkina Faso are demanding for democracy, for democratic right. They want to go to the ballot and vote in leaders the way they used to vote leaders. Have you asked them one by one, one on one? Do you really think that is what the people of Burkina Faso want? That's not what they want. And that is something that the media will not tell you. The man came to power. The man has changed Burkina Faso. He has made Burkina Faso one of the first countries in Africa in terms of everything. And now the man begins going viral, not only in Africa, but even outside Africa, in Europe, everywhere. The man is going viral. People are using him as an example. United States of America is one amongst the first world countries in the world. And it is far away compared to many countries in Africa. I don't think that there is a country in Africa that has grown already, or maybe it has it can be compared to the United States of America. We know they've been building their countries using the resources that are coming from Africa, using the wealth and minerals from Africa. Yeah? But even if it is so, the fact remains they are rich. They are rich through our resources. Yeah? But the fact remains they are rich. This is a country that is considered the superpower. But the people from the same country have they have guts to come out and say, Mr. Trump, we want you to work things out. We want you to lead this country. We want you to govern this country like Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Borrow from what he is doing. Borrow, from his knowledge. Borrow from the things he's actually doing. Govern this country. Lead this country the way Captain Traore is leading Burkina Faso. He is young, but he has been able to do greater things. What does that show you? It shows you that Traore is actually not what many people think he is. Some people would say is a cult. I had people saying this man is a cult. This man is using some supernatural powers to protect himself and all that. This is all a lie. This man is being guided, protected by God. And many things he's doing is actually being led by God. And that is why it has been very difficult for anybody to take him down. Yeah? Who knew that the white America will get to a point, or they will get to a day where the white America will begin considering Ibrahim Traore or a black leader as a great leader? Who thought that the white America will one day come and say that we have seen a leader in Africa who is better than our leader? And this is what we say: Africa is great. It only needs a sober mind to understand that Africa is great. Some people, when you bring conversations about the greatness of Africa compared to the greatness of Europe, some people would begin saying, Europe is better than Africa. You cannot compare Europe and Africa. These are people who do not understand what really means when we say Africa is great and Africa is richer and Africa is better compared to these other countries. Yeah? It only takes a sober mind, a great mind, to really understand that Africa is indeed great. Yeah? Are you getting my point? And leaders, European leaders from the European governments cannot just admit and accept that Africa is great, because they don't want to be seen as people who also, embrace the African leaders. Because they think when they embrace African leaders, people will think they are bowing down to African leaders. Their level of arrogance, their level of pride cannot allow them to praise an African leader. Because if they praise an African leader, it means they will no longer come to Africa and look like saviors, look like options whenever problems are in Africa. They would always want Africa to look bad and the leaders of Africa to look bad, so that they give themselves or they display themselves as the helpers of Africa. And that is why they can never give credits to Capt.Ibrahim Traore, because Capt.Ibrahim Traore has been a nightmare. He's doing what they do not want to see an African leader doing it. But even if they themselves cannot say it, cannot speak it out, we are seeing their people of their color, people from their country coming out and saying, you know what? Captain Traore is doing better than how our president is doing here in America. And therefore, our president should follow the way, should copy, should try and work things out the way Captain Traore is working things out. Because when they look around, they can no longer see anybody else who can be compared to Capt.Ibrahim Traore, not in Africa, not in Europe, where it is considered the richest, or the best, or the biggest, or the smartest. You see? They are from Europe. Yeah. And African leaders may say, European leaders may say, Africa cannot be compared to us. But even the people from Europe themselves, they are feeling the downfall of their leaders. They are feeling the failure of their leaders. And they sit down looking around the world and seeing Africa having better leaders than even their own countries, which are considered the best countries in the world. Abdurrahmani Tiani, Assimi Goita, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, the king, the president of Africa, and many others. They are looking at them. They are seeing them working things out and doing better. Yeah? Having great minds. Having plans. Yeah? Ideas on how to make a country a better place. Burkina Faso has grown up. It has changed within a very short time. It has become a very good country within a very short time. And it is alarming, like it is beginning to alarm the whole world. Everybody is trying to look at Burkina Faso within 3 years of Captain Traore in power, and they're like, what is happening? Is this really happening? Like, how is this guy able to do these things within a very short time? This is a man who understands what he really wants and what he is really doing. This is a man who knows the assignment. He is loved by the people. Nobody does, no black person hates Capt.Ibrahim Traore. And if you find one, these are goons and terrorists who have been paid to try and spread things that are not there. It's not the real feeling. It's the feeling of greediness and corruption and the love of money, which is the root of all evil. But no black people hates Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Come to Kenya, everybody will tell you Traore is the best president. Go to Uganda, go to Tanzania, go to Nigeria, go to Ghana. Everybody will tell you Traore is the best president. And the world is beginning to respond. The world is beginning to surrender. The world is beginning to say, Wa? Is it really true? Ni ukweli. Because the leader is doing, like he is working things out in an exceptional way, in a distinct way, in an outstanding way that nobody else thought any leader would come and do it in that way. And it is difficult to take someone like this down, because when it gets to a point that even your people can admit, the people you lead can admit, then there is a problem. And that's why I told you, if a neighboring child come to your home and then your parents begin using him as a good example to you, they are telling you that if you want to be a good child, you must follow the footsteps of this other child of neighbor's child. There is a problem. That is the time that you need to wake up and ask yourself, where am I going wrong? I'm happy because I've always been a supporter of Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Me, I love talking about him. Me, I love embracing him. Me, I love spreading his message. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. So you also, as a supporter of Capt.Ibrahim Traore, tell me what you think of the comment section. Tell me what you think about it. Do you think it's a mileage to him? I'll do my best to make sure I read the comments and I give a response where possible. I am Atamba Haiti. This is the African Streamline. For the returning subscribers, I salute you. If it's the first time to be here, don't forget to subscribe. God bless you.